the motherfucking building. Yeah, me. What's good, King?
I'm good, Doug. I'm good. You know what I mean? Just waking up. Phone ain't stopped blowing up. You know what I mean? It
Listen
feels
to me,
great,
my
Doug.
brother. How do you feel? Listen, I got the battle 3-0, right? But I'll say this. On first watch, I had a 3-0. Now, the second round, right quick, right? That's the only quote unquote, if you want to say debatable round, right? Do you agree with that, first of all?
Um, I think that he did good in that second round, and I think if you just looking at it at face value or judging crowd reactions and shit like that, then yeah, you could make that debate. Um, But what I think it is this is what you got to realize, right? First round, I set it off, light that bitch up, right? He doesn't respond good enough. I think I got the first. Now the second, I'm starting the second after he just got booed,
Yes.
and this is like the same shit I went through when I battled Danny, right? You kind of waking up the crowd now. So my whole second, I'm kind of waking them up. I'm engaging them back into the battle. That's a tougher job than my round kind of warming them up and then him having his round. You know what I mean? I think content wise, the shit I was saying to him, the points I was making, um, I think I still got that round.
Yes,
Is
I
more.
believe that.
I think I won this battle of being more concise. You
Right,
know what I
and
mean?
that's the thing. I'm glad you said that because my
Yeah.
recap, I said, yeah, I know some of y'all saying Diz got the second, but I disagree only on this premise. Yes, that was his best round. So sometimes in his culture, because somebody is losing at at a high clip, right?
Hmm.
We're gonna give them a round that their best round, quote unquote, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
To me, Real Sick was consistent. I thought Dizaster had peaks and valleys, even though he did. Do you think also the fact Sick that he rapped so long in the second round that people giving him that second?
Yeah, I mean, all his rounds were like twice the length of mine. And the reason I did that, like the when we talked about it in the face off, where it was like I guess unlimited technically, right?
Right.
All my rounds was 3 minutes, 3:30. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't trying to bore the fans up there, number one, but number two, I didn't want any excuses. You know what I mean? And it seemed like it didn't prevent the excuses, I guess, but like. You know what I mean? Like I just wanted him to like go off, just do Diz and kind of be more like what he was doing in that second. I think he kind of started his first dope too, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly. I
with the
haven't watched it back
negotiate
yet.
terrorist line, the
Yeah, yeah.
Smith, all
I,
that. Yeah.
I wanted him, and Houston was fucking with him, but I think there was just a difference. I think, and it was crazy for me to see because Diz been battling for like 30 years. You know what I mean? But it was crazy to see that I was more comfortable on the stage
Yo,
than
stop
than
it.
Disaster. You know
That
what I
says what? You looked comfortable. Oh
mean?
my, look, it says it right there.
Yeah,
You
right.
looked comfortable. I want you to see that because you said
Yeah.
that, sir. And here's the thing. If I was not a battle rap fan and I watched this battle for the first time, Sick, and you had
Hmm.
to tell me, okay, who's the veteran guy here and who's the new guy here between these two men?
Hmm.
This is a legend, first ballot Hall of Famer. Let's be clear on that, right?
That's a fact.
My
Yep.
Rushman, all that. But
Hmm.
dog, you look way more comfortable than he did by far.
That's what I was trying to like. I don't know if I answered your last question. Did I? My bad, because we're going on tangents and shit.
Part
Oh,
us up.
with the second round,
Yes.
the point I wanted to get across is just if it looks any different, it's just because I'm waking up a crowd that was booing and waiting for his round to end. It was kind of crazy to hear like him say, "Y'all don't want me to rap," and the crowd saying, "No," you know what I mean? Like, and then having to like entertain again, and they with you, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Houston, this crowd yesterday was very like they kept it real. Like if they fuck with what you said, they reacted.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's up to you to deliver it in a way that's digestible, right? And so yeah, I could see why people are doing that. It is his best round, but I think the parallel universe here is like his Cassidy battle. Cassidy, the round that everybody was giving Cass was the round where he imitated Disaster. Parallel universe.
First, yeah, second
He
one.
didn't even he didn't even get reaction until he started imitating me. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
like And another parallel universe, he had a bar against Jonai because everybody kept bringing Jonai up, right?
Mm-hmm.
He had a bar against Jonai where he said, he's like, you like Cassidy, the best version. People only remember you for your impression of me or some shit, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And now he got his most reaction doing an impression of me. You know what I mean? But these connections are just crazy. You know what I mean
Yeah.
to think about. But yeah, we could go comfortability on the stage. The reason that I was like, I was trying to make this point before, but I didn't want to give away too much of what I was saying.
All
This is
right.
my 18th URL battle. I kept saying that.
Sheesh.
18 from Spade, which is on the YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think that was released in 2020 to now. 18 URL battles. And only 5 of them battles are like my class. You know what I mean? Everything else is like top tier. 5 of them or not top tier, I should say. It's just Spade, Fawn, Stumbles, Jay, and Chaos. Those 5 are the only ones that are top tier. Everything
But
else is top tier.
I
You know what
got
I
you
mean?
beating legends out here, Sick. Arsenal.
Yeah.
That's still me.
And I wanted a clear win too. You know what I mean? Because I know I had a lot of good debatables.
Right.
I think Sean is my only like clear loss.
Right. Absolutely.
Um, and that was another thing. We back in Houston. I got my lick back. You know what I mean? I got to perform again over there.
Something that was interesting that I paid attention to this morning when I was to recap, right? You must have known this because you said it yourself after your first round, you told
Mhm.
Tiz, don't get booed. What did you know that? Did you expect that going in to tell a man that? Right, absolutely,
Nah,
absolutely,
psychology.
absolutely,
Psychology. That's all
absolutely.
it is. It's
Mm,
reverse psychology. I know that just from watching Diggs, you know he gets in his head, man. You know he does. It's his first time. He's already thinking of all these things. I'm not gonna help him and say like, all
right.
right, stay composed. You know
Mm,
what I mean? Like, so I'm gonna end it with the don't get booed. So now the plan was to get him off his square. You know
mm,
what I mean? To the plan for this battle, my game plan was to remind y'all what I do. Number one, rock that stage because I never liked the narratives that I don't know what to do on the stage,
mm.
right? And then also look like more of the vet on that stage. Like
Yes,
it's more of my home. You know what I
that
mean?
ball right
You
there, that last line you said right there, looking like
yeah,
that is wow.
that's what I wanted to do. You know what I mean? But yeah, I didn't know they were gonna boo.
Mm,
And shit, if you realize that he started it off and they were fucking with him.
yeah,
It's just when he started, I don't remember what line he said to where they were just
I can
and it
tell you right
was
now. I can tell you right now.
yeah,
So
yeah.
when he went into the suicide mission line, right? It was cool there. He got it easy. He said, "Yo, easy." So expecting to hit him with a haymaker.
Yeah.
I really think the
And it
easy.
wasn't
It wasn't really crazy. He went into a parallel universe that didn't land, in my opinion. Sick
yeah, yeah.
and after that, that's when the Boo Birds came, and then he went to RB, Summer Madness, and everything. And then he's saying that I can't remember my shit. Asked to see his phone. I just thought his
Mm-hmm.
content was not landing in the first round. And to go in your first round is so familiar. Look how I come around though. You said drop an N bomb and end up in embalming fluid. And look what he did
Yeah.
in his third round and everything. The bought a folding chair and I'm dying to use it. I loved all that shit. The 7-Eleven
Yeah.
one line was hard. The Middle East concept that you had, how you dropped all that. I loved all that
Yeah,
shit.
I wanted to the main theme of the battle is
Mm,
we're not the same. That's the theme that I was
right,
trying to get across. People said we rap the same. Nothing about either one of our rounds last night was the same, right? At all. Different style, all of that shit. And I just hate that people just hear like multi-syllables and they say, oh, you rap the same. But if you a good rapper, you rock got multi-syllables.
mm,
That AMG mode shit, that's multi-syllables. He's rhyming a bunch of words, you know what I mean? Like, so I just wanted to create that difference. We're not the same that way, and I'm not Middle Eastern. I'm North Indian. I'm
mm,
Sikh. I'm Punjabi. You know what I
right.
mean? Punjab. That's why I was saying it. Lebanese is like over there, and Lebanon is like across the. You know what I mean? Like we don't believe in the same shit. We're not the same religion. Different environments. You know what I mean? Like all of that stuff.
I thought
And
the
and
I thought the haymaker for me too in the first round was the graded performance. And once you went in that
yeah,
bag,
yeah,
that was a
yeah, yeah,
knockout blow for
yeah.
me already. That you had him at the ropes already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I wanted to do that because that's his shit. You know what rhymes with?
Yeah.
And then he says I think he started that in battle rap when he battled maybe it was Cannabis or maybe before that
Uh-huh.
when he said, you know what runs with Jermaine Williams, never made millions. And ever since then, that's one of them things in battle rap that
That stuck.
everybody did.
It
Yeah,
stuck.
like Briz did it with
Yes.
Young Gil, St. Louis, Brain to Machine. I mean, like all of that shit. So I just wanted to do shit like that better than him too, which is why I had that shit. And then I had the in the second round, you know what rhymes with non-disclosure agreement? You're not supposed to be speaking, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
shit like that.
Then you went into the guest of the culture talk. I love the
Did you
climate.
appreciate that?
I
I was hoping you appreciated that.
yes, I did appreciate that. I did appreciate that at the crib. A bunch of
Yeah.
us did. I ain't gonna
Cool,
lie to
cool,
you.
cool,
And then the
cool.
category 4 shit that you did, that was out of here to me and shit.
Thank you.
You know what I'm
Thank you.
saying? What's going through your mind after your second round and Dizaster has gone and left the stage? Did you know? Because I see on your phone and everything. You put a tweet out. This is when you know you're comfortable. This is when you know you feel in your heart of hearts no matter what you got. This man is tweeting.
Yeah.
He's tweeting during the battle. Well, what's going through your
Um,
mind? The second round is this is left stage for quite a second.
I mean, I've been in battle rap long enough to know he got a gimmick. You know what I
Right.
mean? I kind of thought he had a gimmick because he was walking around with a book bag. You know what I mean? So like in my head, I was like, maybe he got some shit in there. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And then he kept telling me he was doing something experimental. So to come to find out, his third round is what he was talking about, the experimental shit. But that's what I was just like, maybe he got a gimmick. Maybe I knew he was gonna do an impression. You know what I mean? Which is why I had the bar in the third where I said I might be jumping, but like you can imitate my voice, but you'll never leave an impression like me. You know what I mean? Like but yeah, I knew he was coming back. I didn't think the only thing that kind of did make me think like, oh shit, is he like leaving? Is when Beasley was like walking. I saw Beasley walking to the front, and that's like when the principal walking in the classroom. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's when we're like, oh shit, what's about to happen? You know what I mean? But yeah, nah, he can't, and that shit was funny.
Yeah.
That was funny, and see, they were rocking with him, and that's like when he was being the most disaster. That's the bar. Is that the round he had that hypochondriac bar?
Yes. Yeah, the
Yeah,
hypochondriac bar in the second round.
and
That
he
was
had the creatine,
yes, the
creatine,
creatine
that
also,
shit,
yeah. And
and
the
I was
weight,
like, that's
and all that. I liked all that he did.
yeah. So like when he did that, you see me like patting his back and shit, or like saying like, yeah, that it's like shit like that, because he's being himself.
Mm-hmm.
That's the shit that's always gonna work. Whenever you in front of big crowds, bro, they could sense energy. So if your energy is nervous, you're not gonna connect. You gotta be up there. Even with me, even when I said a line that I thought was fire, like you ain't think the vaccine was real. Shit, you didn't lie because they gave you a shot and you got real sick and died. They didn't react to that. I thought that line was crazy, but like they didn't react to it. But you still got to keep your composure. And then I come back with the no matter how many languages you speak, you don't translate here. You know what I mean? Shit like that. Because if one don't miss, the crowd's still tuned in. That's the main point that you got to realize when you're on the stage. But I think like one thing I heard Diz say after was like, yo, you gotta fight for every line. And I didn't know that was foreign to him. You know what I mean? Because like on URL, that's what it is. You gotta like no matter you gotta really be in here for years for them to like be for it to be that comfy for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Surf, when he was on his run this last time starting with John and shit, it's one, the fan base he's built up, but two, he's up there. He's not even drinking water. He's just up there rapping through. I don't need that water. You know what I mean? Like free Surf, man. Like yeah, you gotta fight for that shit every time you up there.
Sikh, let me ask you a question. Are you surprised that Dizaster has not panned out on URL compared to like a Sharon or RIP Pat Stay? You know?
I think Pat is a better example. Rest in peace to my dog, man.
Pat, man.
I think he's a better example because Sharon. Well, actually, Sharon kind of
he panned out those.
He kind of figured it out. I didn't like his performance with. I mean, I like some shit when he battled Suge, but it was more pandery. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like he battled like JC, right? And he battled like Mike P.
Mm-hmm.
He's still punching more. He started, but you know why? He's being himself, I feel like. And his self is just thinking of we as we know now, is just his mind, right? He can freestyle crazy, he can have his punches or whatever. Pat walked on there in a fur coat. And fucking, he was comfy. You know what I'm saying? Like he walked in there in with a fur kilt coat, went to Houston with a flower suit on, and he was being himself. You know what I mean? Like I keep saying that's what it is. At the end of the day, as battle rappers, what we don't understand is like the barbershop conversations that are going on, right? We
Right.
don't understand people are coming home from work and putting on our shit like they're putting battles on. They're watching us like TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why when they see us, it's like characters to a TV show you watching. You know what I mean? Everybody got a different personality, different kind of style, different thing they looking for. So you literally just gotta be you. You on the card for a reason. And I keep saying that is because I was hoping that Diz, because even when Diz went into his pockets where he doesn't like, I feel like Diz doesn't know when to land the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Like the bar will be in the middle of his rhyme scheme instead of the end of his rhyme scheme. You know what I mean? Like there was a couple bars he did where he was going the crowd with him because of the momentum, and then he says the bar, but then and they like react a little, but he doesn't let them react, and he just kept rapping to end the rhyme scheme. You know what I mean? But like you have to, it's like a you gotta land that bitch. You know what I mean? Like you gotta like it's called punches because they're supposed to feel like punches. Like you know what I mean? Like that was just interesting to see too. That I thought because like when he battled Rock, he was landing. You know what I mean? In
Mm-hmm.
that first round. So I was hoping that I got a little more of a vintage Diz. You know what I
Now,
mean? But
in your third round, right? The math Hoffa angle. You know what's funny
mhm.
about that? Because I heard you tell him, yo, we're talking about him because you're shooting fade.
Yeah, yeah,
We're gonna
yeah,
talk about it.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And then obviously the man being one of the fades in the shows now. That was just when you get shit like that though, Sick. You got I know you know that's gonna land and everything like that, man. And the easy
Mhm.
character line that you had, that was
Yeah.
crazy also, man. You know what I mean?
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Now, rematch. Is that for real? Is that what y'all doing?
So we talk. I mean, not anytime soon. You know what I mean? We talked about it, but like he just said like promise me if this doesn't go like if it's not a good battle or whatever, we could rematch. And before the battle, I said, yeah, why not? Because I do respect Diz as a legend with his accomplishments in
Mm.
battle rap and all of that. You know what I mean? But I mean, I don't see it anytime soon. I'm thinking like down the line, maybe on a GTX or King of the Dot, maybe we could run it back and have a syllable match or whatever. But I think like that shit'll happen after I still got shit to accomplish in battle rap that I want to, rock a Nitty. I want to battle them. I want to battle in Urban Plaza. That'll be fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Like I still got some things I want to do. Um, so maybe after all that, you know what I mean? I could run it back with this, and then me and Danny could run it back. You know what I mean? Like I could do that shit like around then. If
But
I'm
to say that, wait a minute, Sick. To tell a man before a battle, if this doesn't pan out, can we do a rematch? You basically mentally lost the battle before going in. Am I right? And you the battle rapper. Educate me.
Yeah, I didn't. That's definitely not a mindset I think I would ever try to have. Like before a battle, it's like, yo, if I don't win, I never think about that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to like, man, that doesn't even enter my mind, bro. Like,
Well, what are you hold on? What are you thinking when you say that? Are you sitting there like, yo, he's broken already? Got him. Is that
my mind, yeah. So my mind is everywhere, right? Because the one thing I learned through experience is legends could flip that switch anytime. Arsenal show you all the time, bro. He might do a couple battles where he's showing up rapping and he's still rapping fire.
mm-hmm.
But then he'll do that one battle like he did, that three on three battle they just did, where he'll just be like, I'm Arsenal.
The
You know
Geechee
what I'm
battle,
saying?
the Geechee battle, the
Yeah, the
twerk battle.
Geechee battle, the
Right,
twerk battle. He'll just
right.
show up and be like, remember, I'm Arsenal, right? Um, so I never put it past legends to be able to flip that switch. But the whole time before, everything he was doing before, like any conversation I had with him, even him at the face off, it seemed like a nervous like outburst. You know what I mean? It seemed like he had a lot of anxiety going into the battle and shit, and I knew I was comfortable. I was too comfortable. I woke up and I was like, why am I not nervous? You know what I mean? Like I didn't really. I had like the jitters maybe 10 minutes before after Nitty and Ace battle. I had the
Mm.
jitters a little bit, but then when they said my name and I heard the crowd, we was right back. You know what I mean? So but yeah, I thought I had him when he was saying shit like that. But again, you never know. So I never told myself this is gonna be a walk in the park. Because
Mm.
if I did, and then he started cooking in a second, that could have got to me. You know what I mean? You
Mm.
gotta always stay in mode.
Mm. So this third round, he goes into the third food bar. The Boo Birds came, yelling at
Yo,
the
Boo
crowd.
Birds is hilarious.
Like, no, let me
Boo
ask you a question.
Birds.
What's going through your mind when you're hearing 3-0 chants before he even rapped in the second round? And as the night is as the rounds are progressing, as time is going down, what's going through your mind? Like, yo, I'm
You
getting
know what's crazy? I said to Nitty today, but me and Nitty was in the same hotel. I
okay.
told him the day before, I was like, yo, I need them 3-0 chants, bro. Cause
Wow.
like last time I was in Houston, it was against me. I need them.
Yes.
And we were making a joke about it, but then
Mm.
it actually happened. I got a 3-0 chant when he walked off in the second. And then I got one when they was like booing him, right? Like in
Mm.
the third, during his round, they gave me a 3-0 chant. You know
Mm.
what I mean? I don't remember. I gotta watch it back. But there's a moment when he's off stage, you see me dap up Nitty. It's
Mm. Yes,
because
right.
Nitty was like,
Walk across and dive in
yeah,
the
because
right.
Nitty was like, you said you wanted the 3-0 chance. And then he was like, fucking mic me up. And I
Right.
was like, let's go. But nah, yeah. I was happy to get them 3-0 chance, to be honest. I mean, when as a battle rapper, when are you not? You know what I mean? Like,
Mm. So when Diz is going to sitting down and want to tell a story, right? My thing is this, right? I love the fact he's asking you when the first time you wrote a rhyme, right? That's some
yeah.
shit I would ask you when I've interviewed you throughout the
Right.
years, right?
Yeah.
What are you thinking of that spot? Is that time to tell your story in a battle like this? And you know what it is?
Not if you down, number one. Like my strategy with going first and all of that was I realized my energy is tough to match, right?
Mm,
When I battle Twerk, for example, and he's on 100, and then he tells me after the battle, yo, I never felt like I surpassed your energy. And that's Twerk. And you know his energy is crazy, right? So I was like, and then I just battled homeschool and I did the same thing where I went first and I realized I could start the battle making you in a position to fight back. And now you fighting back the whole battle if I go first instead of, you know what I mean, you setting the shit off and me just, having a better energy than you or whatever. I wanted him to be in a position to fight back. Um, so in the third, you got 3-0 chance against you already. That's not the time to be like, yo, let me talk to you. You know what I mean? You kind of
yeah,
you kind of gotta you have to like the crowd don't want to hear that. The crowd want to see a fight. You know what I mean? It's not it's only a conversation. Anytime I'm talking to the crowd, it's because maybe I just landed a line or like, you know what I mean? After the app game, bitch,
mhm,
then I start talking to them about him throwing events and shit like that.
right.
And I think another thing that maybe he could learn from is like you got to look at people in the face when you're talking to the crowd. You can't just look out at the crowd and then see this big sea of people and act like and try to connect with them. I learned this from Sean actually.
Wow.
I think Sean told me that, or it's something I noticed. I can't remember. But when he was looking in the crowd, he was looking at people right in the eyes. You know what I mean? Because you connecting now. Now you
Right.
connecting with the people in the crowd. Um, but yeah, nah, that's not the time. I think maybe him sitting down was like his version of that. But like, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think maybe he should have tried that in the first as
Mm,
like an introductory, like, yo, y'all know me. And I think on a stage though, at the
Mhm.
end of the day, you got to be concise, man. You can't be telling these. I was nervous about the teach a man how to squabble shit because it's 12 bars.
In the
And I
third
was
round,
like,
the third round, the
yeah.
third round,
So
yeah.
so I was like, and I love that bar. He did that math shit the same way he rushes his schemes.
Mhm.
So focused on the setup that the punch wasn't clean, right? I
Mhm.
love that bar. But the whole time me teaching him how to punch and all of that shit, I thought it was funny. And I was like, if they get to teach your man how to squabble shit from Snowfall, is gonna be good. You know what I mean?
Uh,
But I was like, there's another, you know what I mean, reality where they don't fuck with it, and now I've just been rhyming with the same shit for 12 bars. You know what I mean? Like you have to keep shit concise. You got to get to the point. You know what I mean? Like
do you ever have a conversation with battle rappers about boos from the fans? Is that warranted in battle rap?
booze.
Should fans be allowed to boo at battles?
Hell yeah,
Okay.
yeah. If the shit is whack, if they're not feeling it, boo. You know what I mean? Like that's part of the craft, man. Like we shouldn't like you know how this whole NDA shit, right?
Yeah.
Diz was talking about, your voice, get your voice off, right? Like your voice shouldn't be blocked. The same goes with the fans, bro. It's
Mm.
freedom of speech goes both ways. So if it's you up there and you're like, yo, I'm trying to get my voice off, they have the same freedom to be like, I don't want to hear it. You know what I mean? So like it's yeah, it goes both ways, bro. So yeah, fans should we're out there meeting the fans, right? We're out there chilling with the fans. That's how this that when you performing up there, it should feel like that. It should feel like it's you and the fans against your opponent. That's what you're trying to do, right? Like at the end of the day. And if it's a fire battle, they just fuck with both of y'all. So anytime you're going, it's like that tennis match shit, right? But like you gotta like you can't put that to the side. It's they want to be involved. So like if you're not talking to them or making them feel like they're a part of the battle, they're gonna make themselves a part of the battle. Whether it's keep going or it's boo. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
yeah.
So the reason I brought that to attention to you, Sick, because this said, if you don't cheer for me, you don't love battle rap.
Man, I think a lot of stuff that he said right after the battle was just his,
Frustration.
initial frustration. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Like probably just calming down. Like, um, I don't agree with that, man. I think get like I said, it goes both ways, man. You
Mm.
gotta you gotta accept what comes with it. You know what I mean? And then, man, I don't know. I don't know why he was. It just looked like he was in such foreign territory. That was just a shock
That
to me
looking
because
wild, man. I'm not
it
gonna lie
was
to
shock. It
you.
was a shock to me because he's battled in the Philippines with 25,000 people in the crowd. You know what I mean? He's battled in front of I think it was Real Deal, that it was some competition. It was like a bunch of people that were in the UFC. Like he's been in big crowds before. When he just battled Hollahan at the Stay Forever joint
Mm.
in front of a crowd. It was less people than this, but it was still a crowd. You know what I mean? So I just don't know what I don't know, man. I don't know what happened, man.
It,
Like
and before the battle, right? There was comparisons of you, this is a wax on, wax off kind of match off. And even during our interview, and you let Dizaster know who your influences are in
yeah.
battle rap. How important was that for you to let him know, bro? I rock with you, but you wasn't the guy.
I had to negate that shit out the gate.
Out the
Now
gate.
again, out the this is 5 days of writing. Three. Everything I did yesterday, 5 days of writing,
Mhm.
5 days of memorization. You know
Right.
what I mean? So I could have went into all these angles and all of that kind of shit. I could have, you know how much crazier, and I seen you say this in a recap, bro. This
Mhm.
is 10 days, dog. This is 10 days. I told you I was conditioned, so I could still have haymakers and shit like that I had.
Mhm.
But yo, I could have dissected this shit so much more differently in like a more like a stage way instead of just making the point. I wanted to make that point, so I didn't have enough time to really. you know what I mean, think of a bunch of shit for it. So I kind of just wanted to say you didn't influence that shit. I was influenced by, Magic when it comes to battle rap, and then Crooked Eye, Big L, Big Pun, Cool G
Yes.
rap shit. True
Yes.
student of the craft, Diz. You ain't influenced that shit. You a has-been. The main difference with us two in battling is I'm you if you respected where you were at and you adapted. Like, I wanted to make that point, you know what I mean? Like, and I guess sometimes it is important just saying the shit, you know what I mean, instead of trying to make a bar out of it or whatever. But yeah, I just wanted to get that out the way because I knew the impression coming, right? I knew even when I said it, I wasn't influenced by you. He tried to say, yes, you were. No, I wasn't. Where? Like, and that's another thing I had to prepare for. I felt like he would be talking while I'm rapping. You know what I mean?
He
The
tried
one
to get
thing
a
I
little
didn't.
physical, trying to get physical a little bit though, but you wasn't. You
Yeah,
pushed off.
I told him after. I think it happened because maybe it was adrenaline or something. I went, but he was like covering my side of the stage, so I think I like moved him
You
or
did.
something.
Yeah.
And then I think he took it as me trying to like punk him or something. So he tried to, but I know his knee, he got a knee brace on.
Right.
So at the same time, look, I don't do these battle rap games of bumping and all of that because I don't want to take it too far by accident. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to actually bump you and then your knee snap and you fall on it. You know what I mean? Like I was aware of that shit. I wasn't trying to. And we
Right.
talked about this after too. But like, yeah, I think, and then it just got serious real quick. But now I got to stay composed and be in the shit. So then I was just like, all right, let me just move you off me and turn to the crowd. You know what I mean?
What was it last night? What the Ultimate Madness one guys? You, Ace, Five,
Celebratory.
like
Celebratory.
yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
Terry, like
yeah. Man, we I'm glad we all made that statement because as time is going on, it's still, solidifying what we were saying like when we came out that we one of the best classes, you know what I mean? And I think top 3 for sure. I think the only thing we're trying to that time will tell is if we're the best class. You know what I mean? But I think it's continuing to show whenever you see, Swamp and Castro and Chaos back out, they're gonna show out too. You know what I mean? And it's just gonna keep going. But it was fire to see, you know what I mean,
best Ace I mean
all
ever.
of us.
I had Nitty winning.
Hell
The
yeah.
best Ace I mean I've ever seen
And
was last night.
he was like really preparing that shit for y'all, man. We was outside the hotel till maybe 4 or 5 in the morning going over our rounds and shit. You know what I mean? He really put in work for that. I'm super proud of Ace. You know what I mean? I didn't get to watch the battle yet because I was preparing in the back. Did he have any stumbles or anything?
No, in the first round, he
No,
had a couple stuff for the most
but
part.
nothing. Yeah,
Nothing
nothing too
crazy.
crazy.
And
All
his
right,
flow, he
amazing.
slowed down. He was at a good pace
hmm
last night, man.
Yep,
The brother
yep.
was rapping. He was rapping last night, man. He
He
was.
knows how to land. He knows how to land
Mhm.
bars. You know what I
Now,
mean? So
here's the thing. I gave Nitty the third round because even though his third round was fire, he wasn't direct to Nitty. A lot of that stuff showing love the smack. I appreciate it. You feel me?
yeah,
Everyone gets that smack, right? So we saw
right.
the side of somebody showing love the smack,
Yeah.
But a lot of them joints wasn't to Nitty.
I think whenever you think of rounds like that, bro, it doesn't matter in your mind who wins that round. You know what I mean? Like, so
Oh, for
like,
shits and giggles, we gotta,
yeah, of course. I mean, like, yeah, I think that's fair to do in a battle. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But like the message, and sometimes it's just better getting the message across. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, shit, like I did that with Mike in my third. I mean, I still talk to him a little, but I got the message across at the end, and that's been continuing to, get me opportunities and shit. You know what I mean? So,
What was the conversation with you and Disaster after the battle? If you get enlightened us, or maybe it's private, I don't know if you want to.
no, I don't think it was anything to, like I said, I think he was just frustrated. I think even while I was doing interviews, we like heard him in the back frustrated. You know what I mean? But the conversations I had once he like cooled down and shit, right? I tried to talk to him after, like real quick, and then he was like, "Yo, my first round would have killed you," and I was like, "All right, let him cool down, right?" And then because I didn't want to get into a disagreement, or like try to be, I had an 8 for real. That's why I tweeted out I need to eat. I didn't eat. It was 6, 7 p.m. and I hadn't ate yet. I went across the street, got a Pizza Hut, you know what I mean? Came back in, watching the battles, and then I saw
Right.
Diz again. And then I was just trying to say to him, like, it's weird to say giving advice because he's a legend. But like what I was trying to tell him was what I was saying here. Like, yo, you see when you were yourself,
Mm-hmm.
they was fucking with you. I feel like when you were trying to, you know what I mean? I don't know if you were trying to do other shit or if you were trying to get a reaction instead of just or trying to get accepted by the crowd or like I don't know what it was, but when you're not being yourself, the crowd senses that. You're in control right when you're on stage. It's like driving a car. You behind the steering wheel. If they get the feeling that you're not driving or you don't know how to drive this kind of car or something, like they're not on the ride with you. You got to take them on pause if necessary. Ace is somewhere, you know what I mean? You got to Ace is somewhere. Yeah,
Oh man.
you gotta control that. You know what I'm saying? So like, I was just telling him like, and I was telling him before the battle. That's why I said unlimited time to do you because I was like, I wanted you to just be you. I wanted Disaster to just be Disaster. So even if, and maybe what he did last night is Disaster, and maybe I had a different perspective. But I'm thinking Danny Myers Diz or the one that battled Iron
Geechee.
Solomon Diz.
Geechee.
Yeah. Or even the Geechee one. He was fired there too. But like, because the worst that's gonna happen is you won't get booed. You might just get silenced if they don't fuck with you, or they going you a legend and they seen you for years, and if they see you in a vintage form, they're gonna fuck with you. Like you kind of have that power as a legend to just start recreating some of that old energy, and it's gonna get responded to because we fuck with that. You know what I mean? And but I think when he's saying shit like the no boo, no
That yeah,
boo,
that
like
noble
that's
the
not
third round, that was tough. That
yeah,
disrespectful.
like
Wow, that
or
noble.
the like after the battle, he was confused on why when he said summer sadness, why he got booed. And I think what he doesn't realize is it's the emphasis you put on the bar, right? You kind of telling the fans when to react. So if you say summer sadness instead of just say it and then continue to rap, you know what I mean? I don't know. I was just saying shit like that to him when I got to talk to him. We talked about the pushing and shoving. You know, I told him I mean to like, you know what I mean, really move him, but
He had
it
to
got
know the
serious
N-word,
or whatever.
dropping the N-word wasn't the right move. He had to know once he go in that bag, it was gonna
I
be
mean, it's
he had
the
to know
reason another reason it was in my round and with the
the
theme of
first
like
round.
we not the same
Right.
because I never grew up accepting that. Because like obviously when you around like your friends that use it, they
Mhm.
might as a joke be like, yeah, you got the pass or whatever. But I never felt like that was cool, like
Mhm.
for me. You know what I mean? Because just like we both like have 9/11 experience, like post 9/11, getting
Mhm.
in fights and shit like that. We were talking about that a little after too.
Wow.
But like, yeah, of course, like growing up in America after that shit, you have some shit to where you always in fights and you know what I mean? That might like you might be on edge or whatever, like, but at the same time, you gotta kind of embrace who you are. And I think other races, especially I could talk for the Browns, you know what I mean? The Brown community, the or Tans, I guess, right? The Indians. Because you from New York, so you've heard like even Arabic dudes at the
Of
store
course,
might use it,
absolutely.
right? But
Absolutely.
I never agreed with that because I was like, that's not your word to use. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, and I never made that a part of my vocabulary for that reason. And the 9/11 shit, I was saying that built a sensitivity around racism to me, right? I'm very calm now, but that took years. I didn't get like this till like my
Maturity. As you got older,
yeah,
of
yeah.
course. Right.
But the reason I was so on edge is because, and even now, racism is just one of my triggers, you know what I mean? So like if if there's anything related to that, even as a kid, I stayed away from that. So
Mm.
even if I'm around that, and then my homies are saying they don't care or whatever. I think one of the battle rappers said it to me yesterday too, and I said, nah, that's not part of. I don't talk like that. Like I don't think anybody that's Indian should ever get used to talking like that. You know what I mean? And the world ain't your living room. So like if active is cool with you using it, that doesn't mean the world will be. You know what I mean? So like I don't know. I just never agreed with that, and that was something that I wanted to bring to the forefront. You know what I mean?
Are you and Rum Nitty gonna have a conversation soon?
We have to. I talked to Nitty and Rock after that. I wanna definitely battle maybe, one of them before the year's out. I think
Nitty
it would
or
be
Rock?
Rum Nitty or Rock.
Mm.
That would be you know what I mean? And they
You and
both
Nitty, you and Nitty, I like that. I like that a lot.
I think either one of those in a small room is the way to go, just because like we could do like I think me and Nitty or me and Rock could have one of them really rapping battles. You know what I'm saying? Like we could really have like battle of the year type shit. You know what I mean? And I don't want to go a year without giving y'all that. You know what I mean? Because every year I gave a battle of the year that I've been here. So, hopefully we could lock one of those in.
What were you able to see them? I know you said you didn't see Nitty and Ace. I mean, were you able to see other battles?
Yeah, I was able to, what I mean, here and there. Like it's always tough at the event, you know what I mean? Because like, especially if you perform, because now as you're walking through, you know, you get everybody's talking to you, asking for pictures, you know what I mean, giving a review on your performance, all of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you on stage, the audio ain't as good, so you got to kind of, what I mean, sit
Hang
off
on.
stage. But I was tuning into a little bit of Jerry and DNA, and when Jerry was
Oh,
getting 3-0 chance against DNA, I was like, what?
yeah,
I
that was
was
not.
like, what is happening right now? Like that shit
Yeah,
is
that,
crazy.
that wasn't on my bingo card.
I got to chop it up with Gerald McCoy. He was there.
Mm.
Um, and he, it's exactly how he predicted. I think he predicted me to win like this too. But yeah, I got to see a little bit. T Top and John John, I think I saw the first round. Like it was cool. It was good. But again, also, and my phone is blowing up, and Twitter got all these memes, and you know what I mean. Everybody's talking about you. We were trending, you know what I
Yeah,
mean, which was
yeah.
amazing. Um, so yeah, in and out, you know what I mean. I remember I watched the battle I watched the most of was probably Twerk and Hollow, and I felt like that was a good battle from what I saw. How did it come out on camera though?
I thought Twerk won that clearly, son.
Mm,
I had Twerk with a 30.
got you.
With
In
a
the
30.
in the building, or at least the amount of the
Second
battle
round
that I
debatable.
watched.
Second round debatable, but I still thought
Got you.
Twerk won that second.
So yeah, so maybe I remember thinking Twerk got the first, and then the second, maybe it was the second, yeah,
Mm.
that I thought was debatable. But then, yeah, I got to watch all these back, man. I got to see how it looks on camera. I hope my battle, at least my performance, is watchable, man. Like,
It is.
because
I'm not
everything
sure.
else
But it is.
is good, good on the replay.
Give
All
him
right, dope, dope.
replays. My
Yeah,
man,
because
he looked comfortable. Everybody was tweeting that. Why is Real Sick looking so comfortable on stage? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I figured it out, man. I figured it out. You're gonna that's gonna happen
yeah.
after you've been here for a long time. And again, like I'm just becoming more. The reason I'm so comfortable is just because I'm my experience is settling in. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a difference from just gaining a bunch of experience and actually having it settle in and then you just being comfortable, right? Because that's kind of like what I was doing. It's like I was gaining all these experience points battling these legends back to back and all of that, and I never really got to let it marinate until probably I was kind of just going off instinct until after my Shine battle. So like since Twerk, I battled Twerk, I battled DNA and Clips in the 2-on-2
Mm-hmm.
with Castro,
Mm-hmm.
Homeschool, and this battle. All of these battles are you'll see a different kind. It's like a Sick 2.0. You know what I mean? As compared to from Jay the Nightwing to K-Shine. Those battles versus this new set, yeah, it's a sick 2.0.
Last question here. To watch a legend go through that, is that an adrenaline rush for you?
The adrenaline rush is more so when I say a bar and they fuck with it. Like I don't want to see, like, I don't got nothing against the legends. Like, I think whenever we were saying, like, you know, new era shit, no
After
respect for the
legend movement,
legends, all of this
he
shit.
started that movement after legends and all that.
Yeah, or after vets, yeah, like all of that shit is like competition. Anytime I see Mook on the stage or Lux on the stage or Diz on the stage, I want them to do good. You know what I mean? Because the it's like you know what it's like? It's like seeing like Nas drop an album, let's say, and G Rap is on a feature. I don't want G Rap to get washed. I want G Rap to go crazy. You know what I
Still
mean?
get his
So
off. I got you. I got you.
yeah, it's still a respect, obviously, because they laid the foundation. You know what I mean? They helped. Without them, it wouldn't be where it is today. So no, I don't ever like seeing a legend not be able to adapt. You know what I mean? Like I definitely, that's why Tay Rock is, I feel like he gotta be in the Mount Rushmore just because of how long he's been here, how many people he's battled.
Yes, I agree with you on that. I had a
Like,
conversation with Ava about that. Like, he should be in the Mount
yeah,
Rushmore for real.
you can't not have him there because he's battled the top of the top and the newcomers. You know what I mean? He battles everybody. He's always ready. You know what I mean? How many battles he got versus how many bad performances he got? Like the ratio is like he's the most consistent. Um, and yeah, he's legendary for that. But even if we talking about, the legends before him and shit, nah, I would never want them to not show up. It felt great watching B Magic battle who he battled at GTX, Low Pesci, and he was going off. That was amazing to watch. It was fire watching
and against
Reed.
Coach Corleone too on RBE. He was wilding too, Magic.
Yeah, that one too. Like, yeah, it's amazing to see the legends do good, man. I don't got no ill will towards them.
Last question here. Would you rather see Lux or Nitty or Lux or Danny Myers?
What's the setting?
Small room.
Small room. We'll do Danny and Lux on the stage.
I want that anyway. I want that anyway.
Irvin Plaza, Nitty and Lux, I would say. Yeah.
My man, real sick, man. Appreciate what you do for the culture battle rap, my guy. You was phenomenal last night.
Thank you, bro.
Real, man.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Is that the only? I mean, people were saying it was a body. Is that the only body of last night?
Yeah, I would say that. Even though Jerry West did surprise me.
Yes.
You
know why? Look at this stat, bro. I got a body of the night on Gnome with Danny and on Summer Madness with Diz.
That's crazy, right?
My homie was like, stop battling West Coast dudes. He's like, you gotta stop battling the West Coast dudes, man.
Nitty's from the West Coast.
I know. I love the West, man. I love the West. I would love the battle over there. But yeah, man, thank you for having me. Follow me at RealSick99 on Twitter, Instagram. September's coming up, and that's when, I could say this. There's gonna be a big announcement soon about my next battle. You know what I mean? And it's definitely gonna be one that people will be looking forward to. It's another big battle. I'm outside, you know what I mean? And music gonna be dropping in the fall too. So stay tuned.
My guy, real sick. I appreciate you, King.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you.